Hi guys, so today I am doing a set on myself. I've not prepped my nails or trimmed them down or anything like that because I am using my Makartt peel off base. And in the top corner of the screen I have some teeny tiny tips. I got these from I got these from Racheal Wilders, but I have seen them on Temu and Shein and eBay. And they're just like really short tips, so you're not buying the long tips for the clients that like the teeny tiny nails. As it is, considering they're short tips, they're actually a fairly decent length on my nails. So some bits I've left real time and some bits I've sped up because it's repetitive. But yeah, I thought it'd make a change to do some on myself. As it was, I was kind of gutted after I finished them because I'd used the peel off base to pop them off with, and I actually really liked the design. So I'm using my Racheal Wilders gel glue that is actually for the full cover tips, but I can't find my cheaper one from Temu. And I'll be using her Finesse hard gel as well for the nude base. And the little black thing in the bottom of the camera is my torch. And in usual fashion, I've misplaced my stuff, so it is currently sat in my mouth. But since I have no clients there, it does not really matter. So that is how I am sticking it on. That is my nail order one that came with my extension set. But the ones that are like £1, £2 on Temu and Shein honestly work just as well because it is literally just a flash gear lamp. So I do the rest off camera. I literally just show you one finger and one thumb there. But as you can see, there's still a fairly decent length considering they're short tips. So normally I would file across the top to blend the tips in, you know, if I was doing these on a client, because it stops them lifting and it stops there being a step in the gel. You need it to be filed flush to the nail. But since these are popping straight back off after this video, I don't bother with that. So I just cleanse off the tacky and then I bring the edges in to a more tapered square look. I just think it's more slimming for my fingers rather than the really wide tips. And I've used the natural colour tips just so if I filed a little thin after the fact, there wouldn't be see-through holes in my nails, because the natural tip at least gives a little bit of back colour. Does anybody else find it really awkward when filing on themselves? I feel like I have to have my hands in weird claw positions that are really uncomfortable. Unless it's just because I'm out of practice, because I do normally work off tips and not on myself. I just thought myself would be a good guinea pig today. And the set I am doing... Sorry about that beeping. My husband's running a bath and apparently the steam of the bath decided to set off the smoke alarm, go figure. Where was I? Right, the set is inspired by a lady on Instagram called Fresh Set Lancaster. She designed the recent watercolour box for the nail mailbox, and she just re-released a picture of a set she did last year with pumpkins and toadstools on, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So decided to try my take on it. So what I'm doing here is I only got a very tiny bit of gel on the brush, and I'm just brushing that into all the grooves and making a nice flat layer, making sure it covers all the way to the cuticle and around the sides. And it's been used as a slip layer because gel moves easier on gel. So without curing, I then put my main bead on. I put that near the cuticle and then press in. And I'm not quite sure what happened there. And then move it around. I've left this real time. I have not fast forwarded this up. And then I just touch the gel to where I want it, around the sides where I've not quite tucked it in. And I'm just flipping upside down to drag it back to the middle. But saying that, this Finesse gel it does self-level, but it still kind of stays where you put it. So it's not running into my cuticles. It's staying there. I actually got this in a sale offer she was doing. And it's the first chance I have had to actually try it. I'm kind of gutted I didn't get any more. I'm not sure if she still sells it or she's changed the name of it or if she does even still sell it. I'll have to have a look on her website, but I'm quite liking it. And this colour is called Full Cover Nude. Now, I think I sped this part up because it was a repeat of the first finger. But the speed on the first finger is the actual speed. So there we have it. I do tend to apply quite chunky. I don't know why. I just feel better when it is chunky, but then I file it down. But in fact, the few things that I love about hard gel are, one, the very lack of smell, and two, the utter easiness of filing it. I mean, okay, so some acrylic brands file easier than others, but no matter your brand, a cover nude or a clear acrylic is an ass to file. You can feel like you're filing for 3 years and getting nowhere because they are rock hard. With the gel, you don't have that. It melts like butter. It's lovely. So I always use the sponge file buffers around the cuticle because they are softer. I can be a little rougher without the worry of catching anybody or with catching myself. And there we are, filed. Not entirely perfect, but I didn't want to go right down the sides because I don't want to lift the peel off base. So I will list the gel polishes in the description box because I've used quite a few of them and some of them I have mixed. So this one is a mix. I know this one. This one is a mix of pumpkin picking and Psycho, and these are from the recent gel order that I got, that I did a swatch video of, from Nail and Beauty Excellence. I think it's Psychopath, not Psycho. In any case, it's a bright orange one. So what I did was I've kind of drew out my rough pumpkin shape and I drew it in stripes so I'd know where I was having each section. And then I'm going in with pumpkin picking, which is the slightly darker shade, and a fine liner just to give me a definition. The brush I painted the background colour on with is, it's a Bowen brush from Temu, but I've also seen Shein sell them, and it's the universal brush, and it is utterly fabulous for filling in the larger areas. It really, really is. I actually have about 6 of them last time I made an order. I bulk ordered a couple of them because I use them for everything. The Bowen brushes are on the cheaper end of the market, but honestly, some of them are better than the more expensive ones I have. So I'm just defining my edges with the pumpkin picking again, just so I have the nice dark definition. And I have flash cured in between a few of these steps. This, I believe, is still on the wet gel though. And I'm just adding a touch of the yellow, just for like light highlights. But don't necessarily follow my placement of light highlights if you decide at a later time to follow this video, because I suck at light and shadow. It's not something I've practiced and it's not something I'm very good at. And I'm just drawing its little stick with its little swirly. I tried to grow pumpkins this year for the second year running, and my seeds just never germinate, or they do and then they die. Pumpkins are just not in my future. So here I am just adding some little flowers. Although the one over on the right, I do decide I hate and turn into something else. Something else. So here I've sped this bit up. So this is the dark green. And I think this one is called Hunter Green. And I barely have any on the brush. I'm literally just dipping the tip in the gel. And I'm just having some grasses, so it's not hovering there in plain air. This was where I decided the flower was ugly. So we are now turning it into a toadstool. Now this is the red shade. I think it's something fire. Light the fire? Maybe? Okay, and this, it looks white on camera, but this is actually this is one of the nude gels from the Nail Lab. And it was from the, like the muted shades collection that I got. That's not the name for it, by the way. But this one's called Cotton. It's not a white. It's described as an off-white. It's not a white, but it's not a grey either. It's kind of a weird in between, but much cuter than a pure white. So that is done, finished. And here I am using a silicone tool. I've seen this video on Instagram quite a bit, and it's supposed to give you perfect petals. And maybe it would if my petals weren't touching. But in the end, it's not quite, because they've all ran into each other. I think it would work better. I'm using gel polish, not gel paint. So I'm thinking it will work better with gel paint because it won't run. Or if you're going to use the gel polish, do not have your petals touching. So maybe have them a little more spread out. But I'm just going to create here a group of flowers in the different autumn shades. Basically using the darker autumn shades of gel that I've got on my palette. Some with the dotting tool and some are with a brush. And just making cute little flowers. I do like that purple shade. I just added that one in just to brighten it up a little. And then just a few swipes of the green gel to create some leaves. To just fill it out and just to add a little more something. A little more something. So the middle nail is going to be similar to the thumb with the pumpkin again. So as you can see, I do like the middle section, and then I do the two stripes. I mean, they do all blend together, so it's not like I can make out where I've put the stripes, but it just gives me an idea of where I'm going to place my lines. So I cured that, and I'm just putting on a second coat. And then I am going to go back in and do the same lines again, exactly the same as I did with the thumbnail. I'm so glad it's coming up to the autumn time of year again. These are always my favourite designs and my favourite types of colours. I love the jewel tones you always get this time of year, like the deeper emerald greens and the ambers. And I don't know, I just seem to have a lot more inspiration when it comes to nail art. In summer, my inspiration just seems to dry up and disappear. So this one's having long grasses as well, just to round out the base. Again, just using that same hunter green. And then just some long strokes up the side. The ring finger, I believe, is more flowers, so I skipped that one. But the pinky finger is going to be a cute little toadstool using the same colours that we've pulled from the thumbnail. So I've done a white tee for the underneath and the stick. I've flash cured that so it's not going anywhere. And then I'm going in with the dark red shade. You do normally see them in the brighter red. But I'm wanting the darker colours to match in with what I've done because they're generally all darker colours, even the orange for the pumpkin. So I just moved that into the shape I want it, and then we will cure that one too. And then I am just going in with gel paint for this one, just a normal white gel paint with my dotting tool just to give myself the little dots. And then I do believe I grass this one too. They all get grass. I could have probably done with some little flowers or something. So pop that into cure, and then it will just be top coat. And that's what they look like top coated. After this bit, I have left a video at the end of removal, just using a normal cuticle oil, popping that on, and then just using an orange wood stick just to find a slimmer bit of the gel and just to flick them off. The cuticle oil just helps it go and moisturises at the same time. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you give it a go and follow along. And if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.